First of all, thank you so much, guys, for everything you guys have. All the messages, everything you guys done. It's all honestly been such an incredible experience. And I know it's been one video, but we've reached over like almost 500 something views in total. I'm pretty sure more than that, but just Instagram doesn't show me how many views we've actually gotten. But I know Facebook only has like 400, and I know YouTube has like I don't even know how much they have. But I just want to say I really appreciate everything you guys have done and everything, all those messages I got received. I received like 20 messages. You guys believe that? 20 messages from people that are going through almost the exact same thing, or they looked up to that, or they felt the same way. And I was just like, man, 20 people, and the other people that liked it, probably they're just like, okay, I support you, whatever. But there's so many people that actually felt that. And I feel like we have so much potential as a community. Like I said, I'm not doing this for me. I'm not talking about my past because I feel bad. I want people to feel pity for me and I want the attention. Like, screw that. Fuck that. I don't want any of that. As a matter of fact, I use my past because I've grown from that past. I use my mistakes because I've grown from those mistakes. And I don't want people to make the exact same mistakes that I made, because the whole point as a society is to grow, and the funniest part going through all of this, from the story that I got last time, the girl that kind of made fun of me in a sense, she loved it. She loved it on Facebook. She gave it a heart and everything. And you start to think, like, how many times as a person, as an individual person, do we say words and don't realize how much damage they do? Because I honestly don't think she remembers. I honestly don't think she even thought of, like, I hurt this person, or I don't remember saying that. And it's because you just say things. As a person, we just say things, and we don't realize how much damage it weighs, like I said. But words weigh so much. They cut deep. They sting. They impact, and we don't feel it. But the other person feels it psychologically. So that's one of my things. And I really want to touch on that. Like, we have to focus on what we say, because we affect other people in multiple ways. And I think that's really important, because that's why I keep saying, like, if I hurt somebody in a way, and sometimes we don't realize. And I'm freaking cold, first of all. I'm freezing. That's why I'm like shivering. But we hurt people in many ways, and we don't even realize any of it. So if I hurt somebody, just reach out to me, and I'll clarify it, or I'll apologize, whatever it is. I don't want to hurt anybody. I really don't. And a lot of people are like, okay, so why? What's your motive? What's your reasoning behind this? So why do you not like violence? Why do you want to help? And for multiple reasons, I wanted help. But growing up as a kid, you get in arguments with your brother, you fight, whatever. And regardless of what it was, if my brother or whatever, anybody, like, I always felt like I lost. I always physically lost. And it may be because I was weak, whatever it may be. I just hated that. I hated violence. I hated when people took advantage of somebody because they were able to do it, and I just hated bullies. I just hated that. And I feel like as a kid, I could never defend myself, And that was always my goal, to help people, to understand people, to make people know that, if I can go through some tough stuff, like, you guys can too. And that's literally my goal. That's my main reasoning. And there's sometimes in life sometimes we just want to fit into society, and we just really, really want to fit in. And we start comparing our lives to other people's lives, and like, oh man, that person has a nicer car, or this person has nice shoes, or whatever. And it's like, oh, this girl's so much prettier, or this guy is so much whatever, cuter, whatever girls say, or whatever people say nowadays. It's honestly, we compare so much to what other people are living, and we stop focusing on what we're living. And I think that's the biggest mistake we're doing. You go on Instagram, that's literally what we're doing. We're comparing each other's lives to other people, and we're like, whoa, you know what I mean? And believe it or not, we say, like, oh yeah, I'm not trying to live their life or whatever, but at the same time, you're trying to catch up to their game. We're trying to post because it's like, I gotta let people know, or this is a good thing to post. But psychologically, we like to say, we just post it for fun. But subconsciously, we're doing it for a reason. We do things for a reason. And it's so weird because we do things and we don't even notice it. And we do it all the time. And it's subconsciously, it's such a powerful thing because we gotta be more aware of what we do and why we do it. And like I said, people from society just want to be all this and like comparing the lives, like Kim Kardashian, like big example, whether she's pretty or not, she used plastic surgery or whatever it is, and it's like we try to compare our lives to this great phenomenon, this great role model, whatever it may be, and it's like if we don't look like that, we're screwed, And even for guys, it's like, damn, like this person or that person, girls are liking this person, you're just like, fuck, like what am I gonna do? Like spend either money on surgery, start working out, and then spend thousands more dollars on surgery, and for what? So I can feel good about myself. And I was just like, no, fuck that. Like you literally have to look at your life and look at all the things that you can't change, physically or whatever it is. You probably can change it now with money. Everything's so advanced now, but what can you change without spending money? And how can you love it? It's a lot harder than it sounds. Like my nose, I hate my nose, I hate my eyes, or whatever it is. Like growing up, I don't really like my nose. I think my nose is big, but I'm like, what else? I gotta love it. I'm not gonna spend $5,000 just to fix it and just so people can be like, okay, he has a good nose now. I'm like, no, screw that. Like I don't care. Like I'll find somebody that likes my nose, whatever it is, and I think that's the most important thing. But I think that's literally how life should be, Instead of spending so much money and worrying so much things about the things that you can't change, and you keep going to the past, and you always keep going back to the past, and you can never change the past. You'll never be able to change it. You'll be living in a cycle that keeps going in circles and circles and circles. You just got to accept it. You got to accept the things that you can't change and focus on the things you can. And I think that's really the most important thing about life, because if you keep going that circle, you're just going in circles and you're never going to grow. And I hate things from my past. I hate them. I wish I had lived another one, and that's why I got so addicted to video games. I love video games. Video games pulled me out from my life, because the life where I didn't want to live it, I played it somewhere else. I did the things I wanted to do somewhere else. And Minecraft was a huge game. Like middle school, actually. I started in middle school. I played that game even up to this day. Like I played days apart. Like it's crazy how much time I spent in that game. But it disconnected me from my life, and I loved it because it disconnected me and it made me feel, okay, there's more to it, there's more to things. But at the same time, you got to realize that your life is just one life. You got to balance it out. Video games it was my therapy, and it still is my therapy. You just got to enjoy your life, because staring at a screen for a long time is you're just imprisoning yourself in a box where you're virtually gone, but you're physically somewhere else. You know what I mean? And I think it really wastes so much time. It loses so much chances of growing and so much chances of living, actual living. And instead of focusing, instead of like kind of focusing on the problem, you kind of just steering off to another thing. And that's why I didn't, as a kid, I hated my life. I hated a lot of things about it. And in high school, everybody was smoking. Even in middle school, people were smoking and everything. And I never got into that because I felt I hated the way I was going. I hated the things I had in my life. I hated certain things. I hated how quiet I was. I hated how reserved I was. And I just couldn't find a damn place in this freaking world. And I was like, I know what I want to do in my life. I just want to help. I just want to get people out of their comfort zone and just grow. But I was like, how can I help somebody when I can't even help myself? And everybody was smoking, right? Everybody was literally smoking, whatever it is. Like, everybody smokes. And for me, it's like, I didn't want to do that, because I knew if I did it, if I do try it, I will love that feeling. Like the way I love video games. It was a distraction from my problems. It was a distraction from my life. And I feel like I would love it. And I didn't want to do it. And even to this day, I still don't want to try it. I'm not ready for it yet. I want to get to where I want to be. And then there's nothing negative if you do it. But another thing is, like, once you have it, you're mentally starting to want it more and becoming addicted for it. And I know marijuana is not physically addicting, but there's people that can't stop smoking. They can't stop doing things. And it's why? Because you're trying to find love on an item rather than loving yourself. And it's like, I know it sounds super cheesy, loving yourself as a guy, because a girl is like, you gotta love yourself. And it's so much different from a girl and a guy. But from a guy, like, loving yourself is so much different. Like, yo, that's just so cheesy. You just don't say that. But honestly, that's what you gotta do. you gotta accept who you are, you gotta love it, and you gotta push forward. You know, you can't just go, oh my God, I hate my life, I'm gonna go smoke, forget about it for a bit, and wake up in the morning and then go back to work. And then that night I'm gonna do it again, and it's just a cycle and a cycle. And the thing is, like, you start getting these people that are in that cycle. And I'm not saying everybody, but it's like you build yourself around people, and if you don't get those people, if you don't get the people that want to grow, you be in that cycle too. And I was really picky with my friends. I always been picky because I my whole life I study how people work. I study how people act. I study how society works. And rather I wasn't quiet. I was really quiet. Like, I know how people are. I know how people acted, and I can tell when someone's being fake or not. And I know when somebody's trying to do things because my whole life I've been studying that. I've been analyzing everybody. And now it's like I'm able to read people pretty easily. But it's hard for me to express that. So you surround yourself with these people that, you know, you grow up, and if you got to grow with them. If you don't grow, if one of them person is growing and the other person is bringing you down, it's like you're growing, but you have 20 pounds behind your back and you just want to keep going up this mountain, but you can't because, you know, your friends or whatever are bringing you down. They're like, hey man, let's go hang out, do this, whatever. It'll be fun, whatever. And whether it is fun or not, I think every now and then, I think the most important thing about life and anything is just finding a balance within your life. And I think for me, the most healthiest thing about me is that I don't need drugs, I don't need alcohol, I don't need any of that to find balance in myself. I feel I can have fun without it, with it, or whatever it is. It's just, I'm happy for who I am, and I accept all my problems, everything, all my dilemmas, whatever it is. Like, I just love it. I love being wrong. I'm tired of trying to fake my life. I'm trying to pretend to be perfect. We're not perfect. We're not designed to be perfect. You know, and we have this image of like, we have to hang out with the guys, we have to hang out with the girlfriend, we have to hang out with the family. But it's like, I don't want to do that, you know? And it's like, but you force yourself until you love yourself and you start realizing like, hey, this is what I want to do. You enjoy things more instead of being forced to do it. It's like, for example, everybody's gone through this. Like when you see your room and you're like, dang, my room is so dirty, I need to clean it. You're about to clean it. Your mom walks in and she's like, clean your room. And you're just like, I'm not doing it anymore. Like, I don't like being told what to do. In a sense, we're doing the exact same thing. But we're telling ourselves, hey, try to be perfect. Try to be perfect. And here we go, trying to be perfect, but we hate it. And at the end of the day, it's like, just let me live, you know? Let me live what I have to live. Let me be imperfect. Like, if I want to cry, I want to cry. If I want to be happy, I want to be happy. Like, fuck it. If I feel this way, I feel this way. I'm not going to pretend or fake my life just to be perfect. And I think that's the most important thing, like finding a balance in your life. Loving yourself, and you can stay away from temptations. You can stay away from addictions. Because once you're addicted, you always have that temptation even after you're sober. And it's honestly just loving yourself. Like, love yourself as a human being. And stop trying to forget what's going on in your life. Stop making excuses why you keep coming back to this substance or keep coming back to this party life or whatever it is. And like, accept who you are, regardless of what everybody thinks. You know, if they're really your friends, they'll be there. In high school, I lost so many friends after high school. They were so-called friends. Like, no, like, you guys were not friends. Like, I tried to communicate with you, you guys ditched me. You guys never messaged me, you guys never did anything. I'm like, whatever. I got my real friends, and it's like 5 or 6 of them. And they're the closest friends I have, and it's like, I can trust them. And I think that's the most important thing. We can't be friends with everybody. We're just not naturally designed for that. And the person that's friends with everybody is because they're faking it. And you got to be careful for that, because they'll bring you down. And that's the hardest part about life. You have to know how to work with others, and you have to love yourself, most importantly. But yeah, thank you so much. And like I said, guys, I would really appreciate if you guys share this with somebody that's going through a lot. I'm not doing this for me. I'm doing it for society. I'm doing it for the whole world, because I grew up wanting to change the world. And I'm now tired of just thinking about how I'm going to do it. And I'm just going to do it. Thank you so much.